Recording started. Well, again, welcome to our middle school course planning for 2011-2012. My name is Patty Cordones. I'm one of the school counselors here at Florida Virtual School. And I also have here with us in the room is Amanda Barton, who's also another guidance counselor with us. So Amanda, you can give us a little smiley face or type in the chat box and say hello. All right. And we also have with us Ms. Amy LaGrassa, who's just joined us as well. She's also another guidance counselor here. School counselor here at Florida Virtual School. Well, let me just give you a little brief review of what we're going to be doing tonight. First of all, this is a session specifically designed for middle school students. And what we're going to do a few things. Number one, we're going to talk a little bit about credits, the total credits that are needed in order to go from middle school to high school. Then we're also going to be looking at courses per grade level. What courses do you need to take in 6th, 7th, and 8th? And we're also going to be talking a little bit about how to design your courses if you would just want to follow a regular track, an advanced track, or a very rigorous track. We're also going to discuss a little bit later on this evening about how to set up your schedule, how to set up your courses with us, and then how to set up yourself at home to study. And then we're going to talk a little bit about how to socialize here at Florida Virtual School. So those are the 4 or 5 topics that we're going to talk about tonight. So let's go ahead and get started. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go section by section, and feel free to type in questions in the left-hand side chat box. Ms. Martin and Ms. LaGrassa will be more than glad to field some of those questions. But also keep in mind that we will get through a lot of that information as well. So just here we go. Well, let's talk a little bit first about promotion requirements. What are the total credits needed to know that you have successfully completed middle school? Well, this slide is going to show you the gist of it. In order to go from middle school to high school, you need to make sure that you have completed 12 credits or 12 courses specifically, that you have completed 12 credits specifically. Now, if you were in a public school, it'd be 12 and a half credits. And right here on this slide, you can see that the 12 and a half credits consists of 3 language arts credits, so language arts in 6th and 7th and 8th, mathematics, all 3 years, 6th, 7th, and 8th, science course in 6th, 7th, and 8th, and the history course, a social studies course for 6th, 7th, and 8th. If you were in a public school, you would also need to make sure that you have completed and earned a half-credit course in career education. So a public school student who is currently right now in public school, middle school, this is what the school's counselors are looking for. When they get to 8th grade, at the end of 8th grade, they're going to count for these 12 and a half credits. As a homeschool student, technically under law, you pretty much can do whatever you want. I'm going to be very honest. The law here in Florida doesn't really specify what you need to do. However, it is very advisable for you to model your education as a homeschooler by what is usually done out there in the state of Florida, especially if you plan to ever enroll back at a public school or if you want to follow and, enroll into a university. So the universities, just like public schools, are going to be looking for the same type of things. So as a homeschooler, this is the advice that I have for you. Make sure that you have completed at least the 12 core courses. The MTech career education is optional. You don't have to do it. That's just something if you want to do, you can do. You don't have to do electives. As you can tell, middle school students, what is primarily important are the core courses, your language arts, your math, your science, and social studies. However, MTech career education is a great course. So though you don't have to do it, I always advise my students to go for it. It's a great course. MTech career education is going to expand the student's mind and exploring all of the possible careers that are out there. They're going to do career inventory tests to find out what kind of personality you have that fits in with what kind of career. It's a great course. A lot of the homeschool students take it during the summer. It's something if mom, dad, if you're listening to me, that you want to have your kids busy during the summer, this is a great course for them to take. It's a half credit course. They'll be submitting probably, 2-3 lessons a week, max, and maybe spending maybe 4 hours on the course a week. So it's a great course to take during the summer, the MTech career education. If you ever plan to go back to middle school, maybe you're a 6th grader or a 7th grader, and you know what, I'm going to go back to traditional middle school maybe for my 7th or my 8th grade year, keep in mind you will default to this 12.5 credits. That's why we always advise our homeschool families to model their education with this. If you don't know if you're going to go back to traditional school, I still advise you to go ahead and model your education with this. That way you have all your bases covered. So right here is the 12.5 credits that you need to make sure that you have completed in order to feel comfortable and saying, okay, I've completed middle school, I'm ready for high school. But what are these courses? What specifically are these courses? Well, let's take a look. On this slide, you can see the regular track. These are the courses that students typically take per grade level. As you can see, all of the courses here at Florida Virtual School that are middle school courses, they all start with the letters MJ for middle junior high. And depending on the grade level, you see the 1, the 2, and the 3. The only course that you can see is in the 8th grade U.S. History. It has a little number 8 at the end to distinguish it from our high school course. So this is your regular track. This is the student who's just your typical middle school student who's progressing typically like everybody else, regular kid. And this is the track they follow, 6th grade, 7th, and 8th. But what about that student that needs a little bit more rigor? They want to be challenged more academically. Well, all of our courses can be taken not just for regular, but they can also be taken for the advanced track. Meaning if you want your child to have a little bit more rigor in his academics, a little higher critical thinking skills, a little more challenge in his studies, then I say go for the advanced track of the course. How do you register for the advanced track? It's very simple. You register for the course normally. When you get placed with a teacher, you just tell the teacher, Miss So-and-so, Mr. So-and-so, I want my child to have the advanced track of the course. The beautiful thing about Florida Virtual School is that you can test it out. Tell the teacher, you know what, I want to see if my child can handle the advanced track of math or that advanced track of science. Tell the teacher, he can try it out, she can try it out. And then let's say down the road you see, you know what, it's just too much for my child on that subject. It's okay. You tell the teacher, you know what, I'm going to place him let's switch him right back down to the regular track of the course. What's the difference between the regular and the advanced? It's usually about 1 or 2 extra lessons per chapter, per module, and the lessons will be a little bit more time consuming, so they're going to spend a little bit more time on that lesson, and then their chapter exam, their module exam, will be a different test, a little bit more challenging of a test. So the difference is just very slight, and it's really to start getting the students more used to that rigorous study, more used to pushing that kid to higher critical thinking, pushing that child to really excel at that subject matter. Do you have to do advanced for all 4 subjects like I have it written down there? No. If your child isn't good in math, you're not going to put him in advanced math. You're going to give him the regular track. But maybe your child is just great at the histories and language arts. I have students that excel in all of the reading subjects, language arts, the world histories, all of that stuff. So then maybe those are the courses you give them advanced. You know your child, you pick the one where you know that he will excel at. The point is to push your child in the areas where they normally excel. And that's where you want to place them. So this is a sample of an advanced track where all the courses are advanced. And it's just to show you that all of them are available. But what about that student who elementary came around and he was just flying in the math and the sciences? You know, that student that maybe in 4th grade was already doing 6th grade math or that 7th grade math? Well, this is a sample of a rigorous track. There's some students that can definitely handle even a higher level of coursework. So this sample right here shows you a rigorous track. A student who in 6th grade, instead of doing the 6th grade math, is actually doing the 7th grade math and at the advanced track of the 7th grade math. Same thing with the science. The student is just very good in the sciences, and in 6th grade is not just doing the 7th grade science, but is doing the 7th grade advanced science. So right here, as you can see, students can definitely excel beyond the typical track of your rigorous or advanced track. And this track is just a model to show you that your students can definitely jump ahead into high school credit courses while they're in middle school. I often have parents that ask me, well, can my child take, high school Spanish, or can he take, high school science? He's just very good in the subject. Yes. The answer is yes. And as you can see here, this is a typical schedule of a student who's definitely from 6th grade, is going towards those high school level courses while still in middle school. So in this student's case, by the time he's in 7th grade, this student is either doing the math grade, which is the pre-algebra, or is already ready for the Algebra 1 course. The science in 7th grade can be doing the 8th grade science advanced course, or is already ready academically for that earth-based science, which is your high school level course, and so forth and so forth. The point here is that I want to stress that yes, a student can jump ahead and earn high school credit courses if they're academically ready. And that's something that we as guidance counselors, as school counselors here, we can help you determine that. So if you ever have any questions about which track to model, please feel free to give our office a call, and Ms. Martin will go ahead and type in there our phone number. And you can just call our office. They'll patch you through to the school counselor for the county that you live in. And we will be more than glad to help you design a middle school track specifically for your child. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and open up the chat box. If you have any questions about what I've said, about the 12.5 credits, about the courses, about acceleration, go ahead and type it into the chat box on the bottom left-hand side, and Ms. Martin or myself will go ahead and answer your questions. All right, Ms. Leanna, we have a question here. If my son needs to improve in one of his courses for this year, does he have time to sign up? Florida Virtual School is a year-round option, so students can definitely register with us year-round at any time.